Hey everybody, so Dr. Sean, Kevin, here to talk about back pain. One of the biggest questions we get on back pain, well obviously people want to know why they have back pain and everything else, and one of the biggest reasons...
First of all, we should tell why are we doing back pain and digestion actually. So
right.
One of the reasons we were going to do this today was because Mr. Turnbull, so Jason Turnbull, some of you may know him from our office. Well, J-Bone, he really wanted to be... this was his topic. He really wanted to do digestion and chronic back pain.
Yeah, we thought we'd give him a chance. You know, our ratings were getting really good when he wasn't there, but we kind of felt bad not including him. So, and then what happened?
Well, yesterday he informed us that he had a man cold,
right.
and decided that he wasn't going to be able to talk. His voice was hurting. He wouldn't
raspy voice.
Right. And he said he wouldn't be able to go on air today.
Right.
So
the weak link.
Yeah. So we had to come back and put our heads together and come up with our Facebook Live for you today. So
Sure.
We're talking about digestion and back pain, which is actually a really interesting topic. Last week we covered inflammation. The week before that was adrenals. So if you haven't seen those videos, head back on. They're on our Facebook page. The first video went a little green. The last video we were really close together, and we finally figured out that we can shoot this way.
Just learning.
So we have a little more space. We can move around a little more, and we got some good content for you guys today. If at any time you guys have any questions, don't hesitate. You can write them down. If you don't have a chance to watch this now, you can watch it at our Facebook page. Digestion.
Yeah, well,
and back pain.
Maybe we could. Well, give it like a classic example of someone coming in. Anyways, that I would see on a regular basis would be, someone coming in with lower back pain that's pretty chronic, or, has been around for a while. They'll wonder, well, why isn't it going away, or why do I get potentially treated a certain way and it's always coming back.
Classically, you think we automatically think low back pain and mechanical problems, right?
Yeah.
So, which is not.
There's always a component.
There's a component, but the more we understand the body and the more that we look, there is also a relationship to different organ systems. So with respect to that area, so
it comes down to again finding the primary cause, right? So this is something that like Sean, myself, everyone here at the clinic that's their main objective, is to figure out what is the main reason why something is not working. With the back, one of the big things that impacts the way it moves, the way it feels, is our digestive system. Not only because of the proximity, there's like the attachments of all the organs onto the back. There's neurological connection between the back and the digestive system, as well as vascular, so blood flow and everything else. So it happens quite regularly that there'll be something wrong with the person's digestion that maybe they're not even aware of, that is maybe just a tension or some sort of irritation that is actually affecting how their back feels and why the back keeps going off.
Yeah, there's something called a viscerosomatal response. So you have tension or dysfunction in the organ system, be it the small intestine, the large intestine, the actual stomach, right? Which will then create dysfunction or tension in the somatic structures around there, so the muscles, the bones, the discs, and vice versa, right? So you have that opposite. You have that somatovisceral response where you can have problems with the structures and the ligaments and the muscles that will affect the organ or the organ system. So it's really important when you're looking at back pain or digestion issues to address potentially both areas.
Yeah, for sure. Well, which I'm sure you see quite often. We end up getting people coming in with back pain, and like Sean said before, there's rarely a case where we won't have to do something that's specific to the back and the structure, but quite often we end up treating an issue with their digestive system to actually help their back. So people will say, oh yeah, like I'll give you an example, like common things people come in with, and we'll make them tick off whether or not they have digestive issues, and they often don't. And then, we'll ask them questions and say, oh, yeah, well, I'm bloated pretty much every day.
Time.
So, well, that's kind of not normal.
Or I'm constipated.
I'm constipated.
I only go every 3-4 days. And you're like, well, that's
cramping, heartburn,
heartburn,
indigestion, all these types of things that basically are classic signs that there's something going on with the digestive system that's creating an issue in terms of tension, restricted blood flow, which can have massive impacts on the tension to your back. So
exactly. And remember what we talked about this last time, in case you guys saw, is these are check engine lights, right? In a car, we have these lights that go off for us, but in our bodies, they're going off all the time. We just have to really pay attention to them. So digestive dysfunction, people think it's normal, right? They think it's normal. Oh, I got diarrhea, or I'm constipated. That's not normal, right? Yeah. You should have regular bowel movements daily, right? Sometimes two. Depending on your health, the health of your digestive system, you must be eliminating daily.
So one thing then, I guess, would be kind of important to highlight is, well, what creates all this digestive issue?
Yeah, so there's so many factors, right?
So we're looking at...
But we'll look at it from a standpoint of three sides of the triangle.
Sure. Well, we're always thinking the same thing, so we're always looking at our structure. We're looking at the whole chemical aspects of how the body works, so the physiology, the internal kind of chemistry of the body. And then we're always looking at, too, what's going on with the person. How are they emotionally? Are there stresses going on right now that could be contributing to these sorts of things? And the digestive system is a massive has a massive role in terms of effect from the emotional side of things. Yeah. So that's why we have all these sayings of having butterflies in the stomach or things like that. It's because stress
or a gut feeling
can have a massive impact on the status of our digestive system.
Yeah. And so the research and studies being done on the ecosystem that is our digestive tract, it's just fascinating. We're talking about the importance of the microbiome, the human microbiome. So all those billions, trillions of microorganisms, of bacteria that live in our gut and help make up our ecosystem, and the balance of those bacteria, which then again would weigh us towards the scale of health and balance, or having that ecosystem off and providing more of the bad bacteria, which would then lead to a whole whack of ailments, of dysfunction. But we could probably
do a thing just on that.
Oh yeah, it's fascinating stuff what's going on with that whole ecosystem. But I guess in terms today, the most important thing is remembering that so let's talk about the direct mechanical links. Right? The mechanical links.
Good to see you, buddy.
Let's talk about the mechanical links from your digestive system to your low back. We'll talk about some of the neurological links from the digestive system to the low back, and why those two are linked. Right?
Yeah. So
why don't we give an example?
Yeah, sure. So if we look at, let's say, for instance, like Sean was describing, the chemical side of things. So that could be anything from obviously the foods you're eating, to the amount of water you're drinking, to all these things that can affect the status of the digestive system. So there could be foods that are deemed, let's say, healthy, but that person may have intolerance to, that creates this inflammatory response in the gut, which we've mentioned before, and that stress alone can have an impact on the back. So those are kind of some chemical things that we can look at in terms of digestion, and how can we improve on those.
Yes, sensitivities or intolerances. The way we can actually describe sensitivity, this is a touchy subject because there's varied views on these sensitivities or these intolerances. But the way we can kind of describe it, and this is a naturopathic doctor who made this analogy, and it makes perfect sense. So a sensitivity can be something that, let's say you take the finest piece of sandpaper, and I was to just rub it on my skin, just lightly, right? Which would be like if I drank milk. Let's say you don't have an allergy to or a sensitivity to milk, but I take that and I rub the sandpaper on and I irritate that skin just a little bit. Now, if I don't have more of that irritation, more of that sandpaper, that'll heal, right? But if I do that again and again and again, that starts to become irritated and inflamed. So that's essentially what's happening in our digestive system with different potential
irritants.
With different irritants.
Yeah.
Are all irritants created equal? Are all irritants the same for each person? Absolutely not. So that's the biggest thing, is figuring out what might or what might affect Kevin might not affect me. So
one of the biggest reasons why we test that, right?
Yeah, is to
so we use various things with applied kinesiology also to make sure we're on the right track and that we're actually getting the right thing. So we're not saying, okay, well, we're going to eliminate 100 things and drive the person crazy. So we want to make it so that it's specific and help them the fastest way we can. So that's chemical stuff.
So that's the biochemical stuff, right? That's the stuff you eat, the toxins you're exposed to.
If we look at, maybe I'll let you talk about the structure part.
Yeah, sure.
Right? So
structure. So the second component of this triangle, which we address when looking at the low back or the digestive system, would be the structure. So we'll look, and why is, actually, I know we didn't plan on using this, but I'll grab it. Why is this important? Well, structure, so the structure of your low back dictates function with respect to the nerve impulses, the messages to and from the areas, right? So your low back, if there's somewhat compression or inflammation, that's going to affect the messages from the brain to the digestive system, and then vice versa from the digestive system to the brain. It will affect the way those organs work, right? So reestablishing a normalized joint movement and patterns, balancing the muscles, balancing the fascia, balancing the tissues in and around the low back are so important for the function of the body.
Yep.
But that same premise is the same with all the other organ systems of the body. So you want to make sure that your body has, and your biomechanics and the tissues have vitality and health and proper movement, not too much, not too little. That they want the right mix so that your organs can thrive and function, and also your fascial systems can thrive and function. Your joint mechanics can thrive and function. They all go hand in hand. But that's the structure premise, right? If I have, compression or inflammation on one of those nerve roots, or the blood flow to that area, it's going to affect the way that system works.
Yeah. Third component, one we deal with all the time with a lot of patients are the emotional sides of things, stress, that type of implication. The organs are very interesting in that regard, because there are some very specific emotions tied to very particular organs. So, for instance, if we talk about the liver, it's normally associated with anger. We got the kidneys that are more fear-based reactions. So the ability to digest things is usually the stomach. So a lot of people having stomach issues quite often are in a scenario where they're just not able to digest what this scenario is. So it's a literal translation of being able to digest something. So we're very careful with things like this. We're not psychologists. If someone needs help, we always refer them to a professional. But sometimes it's just talking something out and making sure they understand the link between things, and that often is enough to help the person get over whatever that issue is. So we will quite often show them, like a common example is like there's a valve in the digestive system from the intestine to the colon called the ileocecal valve. So quite often, I think it's over 80% of back pain. It's present
disc problems, right? So lower back disc problems, so herniation, bulges, you name it.
So
degenerative disc.
This can be an actual structural issue, meaning like the valve is stuck and it needs to be unwound and everything else to help it out. Quite often, there are other reasons why this valve goes off. So there could be diet, there could be allergies, there could be parasites, and emotion is the last one. So, and often the main one. So there's ways to test to see whether or not, if we were to fix this valve and everything's great, and we've had it happen in the beginning when we just started, but now we know to check and make sure there's not an emotional relationship, because us fixing it, the person leaves, goes out, has the same issue.
Same stresses of everyday life, and guess what?
That guy
valve
comes
back, and their low back pain comes back. Right?
Yeah.
So, I guess we can wrap it up here. It's important to note that digestion and low back are linked. There are many reasons why they could be off and why you could be having pain. It's important to listen to your body, listen to those check engine signs, and those check engine lights. And then have people in your life that can help guide you back to full health, right? That's one of the most important things.
Yeah.
So I don't know if do you have anything else to say?
No, I think that's pretty good. We're going to keep hammering these videos for you guys. We love doing it.
Yeah, and we love to hear your feedback. If you guys want to hear something in particular, a topic involves obviously the health, right? Health and wellness. And
it could be other. We could try. I guess we could try.
But yeah, we would love to hear your feedback.
Yeah.
We would love to keep doing these videos for you. And we did mention again. We'll mention it again. We mentioned last video, but November 21st, we're going to be doing an in-house workshop on stress and adrenals and health. It's going to be an awesome night. I'm going to be there. Kev's going to be there. Dr. Yassin Che is going to be there. I don't know if most of you haven't seen him. He's new to our team, so he's going to be doing a lot of the presentation. He's an awesome guy. Tons of knowledge on that subject. He's super passionate about it, and it's so important. Our Western lifestyles, right? We have stress, so. Again, and we're going to show the link between stress and the digestive system and stress and low back. Like, it all ties in. So we hope to see you guys there. We'll be back here next week at 12:30, next Friday at 12:30. Again, write Steph if you have any questions or comments. We look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Could be surprised. Maybe Jay will make an appearance.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not sure, though. He might have got cut. I think he's cut.
We'll see. No, Jay will be here. He's actually behind the camera. All right. Have a great day. Have a good lunch.
Good to see you.